Good morning. It's 11 o'clock, so we're going to start. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Now, what I have to tell you, just take a look around to make sure you know where your exits are. One over here, one behind you, one over on that side, and also over here, where you came in. You're all very welcome very good for coming out this morning to A Tale of Two Houses. I also have to tell you, please look after your mobile phone. I didn't do it. I forgot to say that the last time. Okay. Like all good teachers, and I was one, I start off with showing you something, which you can't see, of course. But what it says is, Dublin Grand Opera Society, Cumann Ard Ceol Drama Áitlia, in association with Radioern, presents a festival of Italian opera in the Gaiety Theatre from Easter Monday, April the 7th to May the 3rd, and it's the 4th Festival of Italian Opera. The Italian government supported and financially supported opera in the Gaiety Theatre from 1955. A particular programme on that occasion, there's one Puccini and 3 Verdis and 2 Donizettis. The Puccini is Manon Lescaut. Manon Lescaut. And Puccini prepared a particular soprano to sing Manon in Manon Lescaut in 1923, and she was from Ireland. Her name was Margaret Burke Sheridan. Heard of her? He prepared her, and it would be very unusual for somebody who was non-Italian to have a major role in Italian opera at the time, but he prepared her because she fitted the bill. He thought so much of her that when she performed in 1923, that he, for the second act, she had delivered to her in her dressing room a gown. It was silk, blue silk, and gold lace, so she could wear it in the second act. In 1958, there would usually be she would usually be at, Margaret Burke Sheridan would usually be there for the festival. But just and for the opening of Manon Lescaut in 1958, the ambassador, the Italian ambassador, I'm going to read it, with the music silenced and the entire visiting Italian opera company on stage listening, the Italian ambassador to Ireland addressed the audience with regard to Margaret Burke Sheridan. It was on the 17th of April 1958, and the audience included the Taoiseach, Eamon de Valera. Margaret La Sheridan to the Italian opera-loving public had died the previous day in the Pembroke Nursing Home in St. Stephen's Green. And what he said was, she was a great friend of my country. Italy admired and loved her. She was more than a prima donna. She was literally the first lady of the opera houses of Rome, Milan, and Naples. Toscanini and Puccini will ever be linked with her name. It is fitting that tonight's performance should be of a Puccini opera. Margherita Sheridan was his greatest interpreter. So, Donna Gallagher sings from the second act of Manon Lescaut in Quelle Trine Morbide by Puccini. Margaret Burke Sheridan, James Joyce, John McCormack, and Brendan O'Dowd were all pupils of Vincent O'Brien, who lived in number 37, Parnell Square, from 1902 to 1948, and after Vincent's death, the club was closed for a day on the occasion, his widow May sold the house to the Irish National Teachers Organisation, and the INTO leased the house to the Teachers Club. Now, we call our concert A Tale of Two Houses. Two houses being 36 and 37 Parnell Square. You're in 36 at the moment, and if you go to the toilets, you'll be in 37. The houses were built as a pair by Henry Darley, a stonecutter, who also built 5 other houses on the eastern side. And both the houses have 3 bays. That means there are 3 windows in each floor of the house. A selling point of the new builds was that the windows of the first floor, Piana Nobile, overlooked the new gardens. And those gardens were laid out with illuminated walks and romantic winding paths through wooded areas. The big occasion was Sunday evening promenades, were held on a terrace that was 18 perches in length. Now, a perch is 5.5 yards long, so you can work it out how long. We're not in school. Well, if you haven't worked it out, it's 99 yards long. And what the Georgians like to do, George was built in 1766, they like to promenade, walk and show off their finery. There may have been other things happening as well. The Association of Discountenancing Vice petitioned the Lion and Hospital, which benefited from the admission fees they charged to get into the garden, to suppress whatever was happening. Promenading was curtailed to the other days during the summer season, so you couldn't do it on Sunday. The promenading had long ceased by the time the INTO bought the houses. Our miscellany is mostly about The four singers mentioned, that's James Joyce, Margaret Burke-Sheridan, John McCormack and Brendan O'Dowda. Vincent was born in 1871, that's Vincent O'Brien. He had a significant influence on matters musical in Dublin during his lifetime. He held quite a number of music-related posts. He was a church organist at different times in Rathmines, Dominic Street, Clarendon Street, teacher in St Mary's Place, CBS just up the road, first director of the Palestrina Choir, professor of music, 2RN, later Radio Erin. John McCormack would be considered his most successful pupil. Vincent toured with John McCormack as his accompanist, notably to Australia, New Zealand and the States in 1913, and he accompanied John in his early recordings. John McCormack had a successful career in opera in London and New York before turning to the concert stage. He became an American citizen and attracted great numbers of Irish Americans to his concert. And Sean O'Hara is going to sing Off to Philadelphia.
But someday I'll take